Hello everyone, hi, how are you guys doing? Welcome back to another episode reaction to Buffy the Vampire Slayer. This is Haarute, my name is Matt. Hello, what's up everyone? So, Buffy, last week on Buffy, we had the second part end to a wild set of episodes really, because, well, Angel or Ally since episode 1 really just turned evil. And before anyone starts going on the specifics about like, okay, this is how actually works, I know it is just weird, and it's easier to just say he just turned evil. When in reality, it's like, well, the demon inside of him is actually the one that is taking control, and it's just like, doesn't matter, he's evil now. And now we just have to deal with that. And I said previous episode, I was like, well, how is this going to go down? And I feel like they're going to have to revert it at some point. Like, Jenny is going to find some kind of, like, book or writing or something that maybe they can conjure up, like, a way to reverse it or something. Because the alternative would be killing him. And while that would be tragic, I don't think that's what's going to happen. But we'll see. You know, we're, like, halfway through the season, I think. Well, actually, I think the season is like 22 episodes, so we're really close to the end of season 2, aren't we, actually? I didn't notice that. Ew. I think that I feel like maybe I don't remember, but I don't think I mentioned it very much, which happened last episode, which was worthy of mentioning, is the fact that Jenny is kind of being shunned. Is that the right word? I'm not sure, but like everyone is kind of giving her the cold shoulder because she kind of did keep a secret from everybody. Even though she didn't intend for anything bad to happen, she was sent to watch over Angel and make sure that he remains miserable, but she failed at doing so. And in some ways, like, she didn't want to interfere, so that's a good thing to do, right? But the fact that she kept a secret from everybody, like, she's not just part of the gang now. Now she's someone that was actually there as like a spy in some ways. Like, that's kind of what it feels like. So everybody's kind of seeing her as like, well, I'm not super down with you here anymore. I don't know if they hate her or anything, but they do have this weird moment of like, well, you didn't tell us everything you should have. So that is important, because there was that little minor scene where Giles was helping Buffy, and then Jenny showed up and she was like, can I help? And then they just kind of like ignored her, and Giles just kind of kept going with Buffy. It's like, yes, like, he's taking Buffy's side on this. And like, even though they do have a thing with Jenny, it is complicated here, and she did keep a secret from everybody. So that's it. That's important to mention. Yeah, I think that is about it. We're getting ready to start with this episode, so make sure to check out the Patreon. Check out the link in the description below, pop up on screen. You can watch the next 2 episode reactions as well as full-length reactions if you want there. Just support the channel, that'll help it a lot. Let us begin. So, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, season 2, episode 15. Is it 15? Episode 15, let's go. Please let the witch be back. 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 You know what? Even if this episode is not about her, I'm down with it. That's enough of a nod. That's a good nod. I'm a big fan of that. I said that before. I'm glad it came back.
That little innocent schoolgirl thing is just an act, right? Yeah.
We have to establish that these guys are assholes.
I'll give Xander a call. What's his number? Oh yeah, 1-800 I'm dating a skanky hoe. Xander and Cordelia? Ew, what does he see in her anyway?
And we're here.
But what could she possibly see in him?
We didn't come here to talk about Willow.
I just don't trust Oz with her. He's a senior. He's attractive. Okay, maybe not to me, but... And he's in a band.
We're in my daddy's car. It's just the 2 of us. It doesn't get more romantic than this.
What's gonna interrupt us? And there we go. There's the supernatural. 4 minutes in. I still wish we're gonna get some kind of episode where there's like literally nothing going on. It's just drama. Oh, we're right here. Okay, cool.
Did you hear that?
What is it now?
It's a werewolf or whatever.
How about I just drop you off?
What the fuck is that? That's humanoid. Is that a werewolf? It's humanoid looking. Is it Bigfoot? Is it a Yeti?
You sure it was a werewolf?
Oh my god. It's legitimately a werewolf, maybe.
Several animal carcasses were found mutilated.
You mean like bunnies and stuff? No, don't tell me.
Oh, don't worry. I mean, they might not look it, but bunnies can really take care of themselves.
You can hop away real quick. I feel like we got the werewolf real quick, so it's not it.
Werewolves, it's one of the classics. I'm sure
Oh
my
my
books and I
God.
are in for a fascinating afternoon.
He's actually nerding out about werewolves.
Crazy,
The last time we were in
but
PE,
it's a
it was during the witch episode.
Last week, some huge dog jumped out of the bushes and bit me.
Oh.
39 stitches.
I've been there, man. My cousin Jordy just got his grown-up teeth in. It's not like to be tickled.
So, are you turning, or...
Summers, you are turning me on.
There we go. Fuck him up. I mean, what is the instructor gonna say? Good job. Like, so, what are we doing? Is he a werewolf, or is that too obvious?
Yeah, it led to the invention of the moon pie.
Moon pie. You see,
That was good. That was good shit. Not the joke, but Giles laughing like an idiot made me happy.
a wolf man could also be a wolf woman, or anyone who was bitten by a werewolf.
Non-binary werewolves. Let's go!
Thought we might knock on a few windows, ask if anyone's seen anything yet.
Giles, no one's seen anything.
Imagine if you're making out with your crush, and suddenly the school librarian knocks on your window, and it's like, hey, what's up? Y'all seen anything? Or trap. Oh, that's interesting.
Hell?
Giles! Giles!
Well, it's good to get the fruit while it's fresh.
You'd be wise to take that back.
Hey, what a man and a girl doing lovers laying at night is nobody.
Okay, that's what he meant.
Funny thinking about you two catching one. This guy looks like he's auditioning to be a librarian, and you're a girl. I tore a tooth from the mouth of every werewolf that I killed.
We have a
This
werewolf
next one
hunter.
will bring
I
the
guess.
total to... Their pelts fetch a pretty penny in Sri Lanka, and it's a little hard to skin them when they're alive.
Oh, there's a market for werewolf pelts.
I'm in it purely for the money.
I
It
see.
doesn't bother you that a werewolf is a person 28 days out of the month?
That's why I only hunt them the other 3.
Alright. We have a bigger bad guy than werewolves.
Everything okay?
Oh,
Yeah, I just,
I
I
see.
thought I heard something behind me.
we're shin.
I mean, with Xander, it's always Buffy did this, Willow said that. Buffy, Buffy, Willow, Willow.
He doesn't even realize what he does have.
Well, he should at least realize that you have Oz.
I'm not sure I do.
Oh my god.
Yeah, him and Xander, guys.
What do they think they are?
A couple of guys.
This is so silly. Okay, here we go. By the way, that angel subplot is very concerning because that's not main plot right now. Which means that that girl might be fucking dead. And it's like a message to Buffy. Boss fight. I've never fought a werewolf before. Do we have silver bullets? I mean, we're not here to kill it, right? But like, how do we stop it? Capture it? We have chains. So, is this a fucking school bully? The tall guy? Because he got bitten?
If that thing out there harms anyone, it's going to be on your pretty little head. I hope you can live with that.
Oh, they're gonna find the dead girl that Angel attacked, and they're gonna think that it was the werewolf, not Angel. I mean, both functionally serve the same function, you know? Like, you allow this to happen, so Buffy's gonna feel guilty about it regardless. It doesn't matter if it's the werewolf or Angel. Oh, the dead girl, yes! And Angel's right here. It's just gonna turn into a weird tragedy, like a miscommunication thing. Imagine if they end up killing the werewolf as like, oh, you killed a person, so we're gonna kill you now.
Has identified the body as that of Sunnydale High School student
Yes.
Teresa Klusmeyer, age 17.
I think we're gonna get this thing.
I feel like what's gonna happen, she's gonna kill the werewolf, thinking that this werewolf killed the student, but like at the end of the episode, Angel's gonna be like, oh no, I did it. And Buffy's gonna feel extra like shit. Because she killed a werewolf in like vengeance, you know, of or duty, and then it's gonna be like extra tragic because the werewolf actually didn't really do anything. And the werewolf's probably gonna be the fucking bully. Show me. Oh! Okay, never mind. Never mind whatever the fuck I was saying. This is very interesting now. Where do we go from here? Okay. I was not feeling that. That threw me for a loop. Okay, what are we doing now? Okay.
Is Jordy a werewolf? Uh-huh. And how long has that been going on?
This casual werewolf conversation. Okay. What is he gonna do? I like that the shift of the episodes now is focusing on him. Like, now we follow him. What does he do with this information? I mean, you have to tell people.
Thing get away. Kane was right. I should have killed him when I had the chance.
Oh God. Well, okay. This conversation makes sense.
Yeah, but I got someone. Teresa.
God, as in.
Dead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And now he doesn't want to say it. This is.
Another night?
Oh, yeah. Believe me, I'm gonna give that Wolfie something to howl about.
This is like on a collision course for like tragedy. Like 3 layers of tragedy. This is fucked.
I know what it's like to crave the taste of freshly killed meat, taken over by those uncontrollable urges.
You said you didn't remember anything about that.
Don't worry about that. We don't talk about that.
Wait a second. It's right in front of us. I'm Larry. The guy's practically got Wolf Boy stamped on his forehead. I'm gonna go talk to him. Gonna force a confession out of him.
Oz needs to talk to Giles
Me and the
alone.
werewolf alone in the
And
cage
see if
for
Giles
3
has a way
minutes.
to
That's all
reverse it
I
or
ask.
something. Like
Are you okay?
Buster Wolf. This is fucked. I have no idea how this is gonna go.
I gotta go. I know your secret, big guy. I know what you've been doing at night. All right.
He's
I
not a
don't
werewolf.
want anything. I just want to help.
What, you think you have a cure?
I know what you're going through because I've been there. That's why I know you should talk about it.
Look, if this gets out, it's over for me. They'll run me out of this town.
What is it?
How are people going to look at me after they find out I'm gay?
Okay, sure. That's it. Okay.
I said it,
Good for you, Larry.
and it felt okay.
Good for you.
All those times I beat the crap out of you, it must have been because I recognized something in you that I didn't want to believe about myself.
This man is having a full-on realization.
I wouldn't do that to you. Your secret's safe with me.
Good boy, Larry. Oh my god, this is so... Oh my god! Okay, we're good. I don't know what's happening anymore. Is this a moment where Sander goes, actually, I think I'm gay? That'll be even wilder. I would kind of love that.
If you want to up the speed quotient with Oz, maybe you need to do something daring. Maybe you need to make the first move.
I don't know how this episode's gonna end. I'm just sitting here thinking.
He's not the werewolf. Can't we just leave it at that? Must you continue to push and push?
He's keeping his secret, I guess. You know, that's good on him.
Nowhere in any of the reports did it say anything about her being mauled.
Yeah, she was bitten.
Vampire.
Yeah. But Oz thinks that he did it, though. Oh my god, what if Oz kills himself?
Teresa's a vampire.
All right, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, sure. Sander did it. Okay, no.
Innocence is love.
Oh, fucking makes sense. Good job, Sander. Thank you for your help. Yeah. Whenever there's 2 people in a fight, I'm hoping the second person to do something.
Are you okay?
Buster Wolf.
He's gonna keep coming after me.
Don't let him get to you. He's not the same guy you knew.
And someone walks in and it's like, where did the body go? Oh god. Okay, good. We don't need to make this even more complicated than it is.
My life's not too complicated.
It's almost like he hurt me. Alright, this guy's still part of the episode. Like, he's gonna kill Oz or something. Like, they made this guy so antagonistic. Oh, he's gonna shackle himself. Where the fuck did you find these? It's gonna be Willow, which is the worst person to be here. Fuck our lives.
This is not a very good time.
I mean, what am I supposed to think? Because instead of looking up names with me, here you are, all alone in your house doing nothing by yourself.
We'll talk about this tomorrow.
Just...
No.
He has to say it.
It's me. I'm going through some changes.
Well, welcome to the world. Don't you think I'm going through a lot?
Not like me.
You're special, boy.
Yes.
Chains and stuff.
She's smart. She's gonna put it together. Oh, fucking goddamn it.
Please.
Run.
Oz, what is it?
Girl, you can see this. Oh god, the couch. Yeah. Okay, she got out. Well, she's being chased, so... Oh, is that the guy? It's the guy. Fuck. He might kill us. This might suck. It's weird to see Giles with a gun. Is that an actual rifle? Does it fire like tranquilizer rifles or something? Like, I don't know, man. This episode might end in like awful tragedy. It would be really fun if us survived and then us became like a resident werewolf party member, but I'm hoping for a lot here.
How exactly do we find this thing?
It's Oz! It's Oz!
Yes.
What's us?
The werewolf.
You certain?
Can't you just trust me on this? He's not gonna kill Oz. Yeah, he's a werewolf, but he doesn't mean to be.
Don't worry, Willow, we're not gonna hurt him.
I put enough phenobarbital in this thing to sink a small elephant.
Okay, there we go. It is a tranquilizer round. But here comes the issue. This guy. Oh boy. Where's Sander in all of this?
I'll play dead.
Oh! Let's go! She's here. Well, this is a 1v1v1. This is a free-for-all here. Oh god, this sucks. Damn it! Okay. But where's the other guy? Where's the fucker?
They shot Oz.
It's okay, it's a trunk round. Where did he go?
This
He's right
town's
there.
overrun with
Okay.
monsters. No one here's man enough to kill him.
Yeah, just flex. Just flex on this guy.
Is he gonna be okay?
He's gonna be okay for like 28 days out of 30 in the month.
It's gotta be weird for him, too, now that we know so much.
All I know is I'll never be able to look at him the same again.
He's still a human being.
They're talking about Larry.
Oz? What are you talking about?
No one.
Okay.
Here, let me get those.
Oh, now he's super nice. Now he's gonna be super nice.
I owe you. It's really nothing we should be talking about. Ever.
I know,
Yeah.
I know. It's just, well, thanks.
All I'm saying is she's not safe with them. If it were up to me...
Xander? It's not up to you.
It's not. That's good.
He said, I'll be okay. I just have to lock myself up around the full moon.
Yeah.
Only
okay.
he used more words than that.
I'm a big fan of how Oz has like long sleeves. This is not my super long sleeve shirt, but
You mean, you'd still...
yeah.
Well, I like you.
Aw. This is so much different than what I thought this episode was gonna be at the end.
I'd still if you'd still.
I'd very still.
Okay. No biting though.
Agreed.
But if a werewolf bites you while in human form, do you still get
Werewolf in love.
do you still get it or? Well, we have our fellow werewolf party member in the cast. I'm actually a big fan of that. That episode ending was way more wholesome than I thought it might be. I'm happy about that. My wish is kind of coming true. The main cast is getting weirder. So, Oz turns out to be a werewolf, and he didn't die this episode. So now he's just a resident werewolf in the main cast. Now, the thing about werewolves is that he's not someone that can help in fights besides what a normal human could do, unless it's a full moon night, right? Or like, I think they established this episode, not necessarily has to be a full moon night, but like the phase before it can work. So yes, around that time, he can be a werewolf for like 3 nights a month. Sure. That's interesting because this is probably not gonna happen often. It might happen like twice tops, but I'm waiting for the episode where Oz turns into a werewolf and he like saves the day or like helps out Buffy in saving the day, you know, like, well, the thing about being a werewolf is that he's going berserk, so he can't necessarily identify who to fight or whatever, but there could be a moment where like him and like someone else in the cast, like him and Buffy, they get captured by an enemy or whatever, and they're like torturing them or some shit or like something, right? They're just captured, and then they are like, well, we're gonna fucking kill you, and Buffy's like, oh, you're gonna kill us? Well, there's something you don't know about my body over here, and you also don't know what day of the month it is. And then he just transforms and breaks out from the chains and just fucking kills the captors or whatever, and Buffy gets herself free, and that's how they sort of resolve that whole situation. And then Buffy just runs to a telephone booth and says, Giles, we need the trank gun right now, right here, you know. So maybe that could happen. That would be great. I don't want it to happen often. I don't want it even to happen like more than twice, you know? In like the 100 episodes or whatever that we have left of this show, I want it to happen like once or like twice. That's fine. I just want to see Oz do something with his unique power set other than just nothing or just what a regular human could do, you know? Because in this episode, even Sander helped a little bit. You know, he stabbed Teresa that turned into a vampire while she was fighting Buffy. And it's like, cool, I'm glad to see Sander do something in a fight, you know? Because whenever I see multiple people in a fight, I want to see all of them cooperating, you know? That's cool. So it was nice to see Sander help out. However, if we have a werewolf in the team, I want to see him transform into a werewolf and fucking fight a bad guy, because that's cool. But anyway, besides what's cool or not, let's talk about actually the episode itself. So, in this episode, there was a lot of misogyny. Oh boy, it's... Okay, who wrote this episode? Okay, this episode was written by two people whose name I don't know who they are. So, okay, I'm not gonna say anything about the irony of the episode. We'll move on from that. I cannot claim that it's too much to the point that it's almost cartoony, because real life is more stupid than fiction sometimes. In fact, most of the time. And if it feels like too much, if it feels ham-fisted, it's because, well, one, it probably is like that, and two, the audience sometimes is just not aware and doesn't want to listen, so you have to make it like that in order for it to like come through, you know? And one of the things about why it was like that, about it's on the character of Larry. Okay, the character of Larry. I cannot tell how I feel about Larry because the character of Larry is an asshole, a bully, and a misogynist, but then he has a moment with Sander where he's like, I'm gay, and then he's like, wait, shit, I'm gay. Oh, that feels so good, I'm gay. Dude, thank you so much for pulling this out of me, dude. Thank you so much for giving me the confidence, giving me this feeling of acceptance, you know? It feels so good to know there's someone else in here with me that can accept me. I feel so good about this. Thank you so much, bro. Like, it felt so good, and I was like happy for him. But also, I don't know if I like the guy who's like a raging misogynist, but it's only because he's actually afraid of admitting that he's gay. I don't know if I like that trope. It is a trope that exists. Every time I think about that trope, I think of fucking Persona 4. And this is not even canon in the game, but there's like leaked files that you can find where there's... One of the dudes in that game is a fucking piece of shit, and I don't like him. But the only reason why he's like that is because he actually has a thing for the main character, and then Japan was like, no, we can't do this, and then they didn't do it. So I'm just sitting here like, all right then. So I'll give the show credit for actually having a guy just be like, you know what, I'm gay and it feels so good, you know, like that makes me so happy. It wasn't like, it was funny, but it wasn't like, it wasn't making fun of gay people. So that's a good thing, right? That's a win. That's a small win. It's a win. It's the fact, and I liked at the end when he came in and he talked with Sander. He saw a girl's like stuff all over, like someone like bumped into her or something, and then he was like, "Oh, let me help you." And then he like helped her grabbing the stuff and just giving it to her, and then he was like, "Dude, thank you so much." It's like he was so nice. I want Larry to come back. Okay, so that's what I want. I want Larry to become an recurring character. And not just be a one-off joke, right? Because, like, he was kind of a joke in this episode. A little bit, you know? His gayness wasn't necessarily the joke. It was the contrast between living in denial versus actually feeling comfortable with yourself and accepting, and that makes you stop being an asshole, right? Like, this is like a bunch of tropes here. But what I do want is I want Larry to come back. I want Larry to actually be a character, because I want him to actually develop and be a person, right? Because that would make it good. That would make it feel really good, and I would be really happy with that. You know? I would be really happy with that. And for a moment I thought that Sander was going to have a moment like that too, right? And I'm not discarding it. That could be true. At some point, like next season, Sander's gonna have a moment where he's gonna be like, I think I like dick. And then finally, he's gonna stop simping all over the girls and he's gonna become the token gay friend. And that would be really fun. I'm not sure if that's gonna come to pass, but I would really like that if it did happen. Okay, so What else can we talk about? Like, I immediately swerved into Larry, but the other part of the episode, which was the dude, the huntsman, the dude that hunts werewolves for money. Okay, so the fact that he was very misogynistic is also like just to make him be a bad guy. Let's be honest. Like everything that he was, like every comment that he made, he was like, "Yeah, I killed his werewolves. Now I don't give a shit about the sport. I just do it for money." You just kill these people. You don't actually think about the fact that there are people for like 28 dates out of 30 and they're just werewolves for like a couple nights, and he's like, that's why I only kill them when they're werewolves, because then I don't feel bad about it. I don't have to give a shit. And it's like, okay, you're just a villain, you're just an asshole, you're just a complete terrible person, right? Everything he says is like a snarky comment about like Buffy being weak and because she's a woman. It's specifically because that's the reason. Giles being old and not being able to do anything, and it's just like, all right, then whatever, dude. Like, they just made an active effort in order to make this guy be a piece of shit. So I almost want to dismiss everything he said as just like in the script, it just says like asshole and then his dialogue, right? Like that's just it. Like asshole says asshole things and then we just move on from there, right? I feel like that's just his character. So I'm not going to harp on that too much. So that aspect of the episode, whatever, I'm going to look past it because it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just a thing that is there and it feels weird, but we can look at it and be like, okay, this makes sense for what they're doing. Now, character drama. We got character drama with Sandra and Cordelia. We got character drama with Willow and Oz. Like, more than anything, those two. We got a little bit of Buffy with Angel. We got nothing with Jenny. That's fine. We would have had too many things that we would be juggling if Jenny had been in this episode too. So it's fine that we only did these things. But this episode was primarily about Oz and Willow. I do like that. Like, halfway through the episode, they revealed that Oz is a werewolf, which was a great reveal, by the way. Like, I didn't expect that, and when it happened, I was like, okay, never mind whatever the fuck I said, you know? Because the way I was thinking about it, I want to make this very clear, is that I was thinking, is it the school bully? Not because I think that it is, but because I don't know what the show wants to do. The show basically just told you, if you were paying attention, that it's gonna be that guy. So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, it's probably not gonna be that guy, because that would be too obvious. Or maybe the show wants to be that obvious, which, fair, a lot of shows do that, that's not a bad thing. But I'm thinking, okay, does the show want to be like that? Or does the show want to subvert expectations? And they subverted expectations. Because it was not only not that guy, it was someone that I never thought would be a candidate, which is Oz. So that fucking got me. It's not the fact that it wasn't him, it's the fact that it was Oz. That got me. That part I was like, okay, fuck, whatever I was saying, I don't know where we're gonna go here. And I said this as soon as the episode ended, I was like, this episode ended a lot nicer than I thought it would originally. Because as I was watching that second half of the episode, when they revealed that Oz is a werewolf, I'm thinking like, oh, fuck. Because I was seeing all the pieces fall into place, and I was like, oh, I'm worried. I'm very worried. Because, so, they show Teresa, and then they show Angel, and the werewolf, and the fact that then the girl, and they also introduced the asshole, by the way, the huntsman. I don't know what the fuck his name was, but the hunter dude. I'm just gonna call him the asshole. That seems fair. And with all of these things falling into place, and they're saying like, oh, who knows what he's gonna do tonight just because they let him go, you know? I'm thinking, oh, like right before they show it, I was like, that girl's gonna be dead, and Angel's gonna be the one who killed her, but they're gonna think it's a werewolf, and then they're gonna kill the werewolf, and then at the end of the episode, Angel's gonna show up and be like, actually it was me. You just killed an innocent person, and Buffy is gonna feel like shit, and that's just gonna add on to like this whole distress that Buffy's going through because of the Angel situation, right? And then when it was revealed that it was Oz, I got really worried, because I was like, oh fuck, they're gonna kill the werewolf and it's gonna be Oz, and they're gonna feel like shit, and the Angel's gonna be like, actually he never did anything wrong, and you're gonna feel even worse, right? Like that was all the pieces falling into place for like a major tragedy, like the most fucked up thing ever. They didn't do it. Okay, we can relax, we can chill, okay? We barely dodged it. If things had gone just slightly in a different direction, we could have had a really fucked up episode this episode. But when they discovered that the reason was written by a vampire, I was thinking, well, Oz doesn't know that. He thinks he did it. So at that moment, I was thinking, well, maybe Oz is going to kill himself and it's going to be tragic in that direction. It wasn't. We dodged another bullet. But then the third bullet came in, which is the asshole. He can kill Oz, and then we feel like shit. And they build up that asshole to be like an antagonistic figure. So I'm thinking like, well, he can do it, and then we fucking take care of him. We can put all the blame of the world into the asshole, and we wouldn't feel remorse over it because he's a fucking asshole. So he can't just be a bad guy, and we can just... Because, okay, I said this before, shows usually want to give you someone that you like or someone that you hate, because if you do both, it becomes complex and you get a brisca. And you get a weird mix of emotions from a brisca, and you don't get the entire audience to like that character or to dislike the character, which makes a character that is hard to write for. So usually you can just write an asshole, and that's a bad guy. Or you can write a cool guy, and that's the good guy. And that's it. So when the asshole showed up, I'm like, okay, you're an antagonist, but in what regard, in what level, right? So I was like, okay, he's gonna kill Oz. That didn't happen. We dodged all the bullets, and Oz was saved. He got tranked, and then at the end of the episode, Willow was like, okay, I understand now. You were dodging me because of you were a werewolf and the love was going through your head. I feel you understand that. And then she was like, I still love you, by the way. So I don't feel scared, or I don't want to like sink the relationship because of something like this. And also it's like, you still want to date me, a werewolf? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, fucking, let's go. That's it. That's a keeper right there. It's like, you know, like if your girlfriend tells you that she doesn't mind that you're a cryptid, that you're actually, if your girlfriend is a monster fucker, she's good, okay? Anyway, so on the other relationship issue aspect, we got Xander with Cordelia. I mean, that wasn't really the focus of the episode, but it's something that it's there. And it's also something I forgot to mention last episode, because I was too distracted with the whole angel thing. But last episode, Cordelia had a moment where... Okay, so Cordelia has weird confidence issues, which was mentioned and set up last season, when I said Cordelia's the best character in the show, when we had the Invisible Girl episode, whenever that happened, I was like, Cordelia's actually a character with a lot of depth, and they're actually like hinting at it and telling me. So in this previous episode and this episode as well, kind of came back in the sense that Cordelia is insecure about the fact that Xander keeps talking about other girls in front of her, right? So he's talking about Willow, he's talking about Buffy, he's talking about literally everyone except for her. So Cordelia is a little bit self-conscious about it. She's like, does he like me or not? Like, does he want us to have a thing? Like, because it kind of sounds like he's always thinking about one of those two girls and never thinking about me. Which is a little bit funny, because then later Cordelia is having a scene where she's talking with Willow about that, and Willow is talking about Oz, like they're both airing their grievances with their kind of but not really boyfriends. And in that scene, Cordelia is doing nothing but talking about Xander, which is kind of what Xander does. So it's a little bit like the same thing, except that she's not trying to hit on Willow, I guess. That would make the show a lot more interesting, but that's not happening. It is kind of interesting, that dynamic though, that Cordelia is talking with Willow about her relationship issues, because she feels like Xander has a thing for Willow, but she's talking to Willow about it. It's weird, but doesn't matter. But the point is that Cordelia is insecure about it. And here's the thing. I'm not sure she has a right to be insecure or not. Because on one hand, she's just insecure about it, so that could just be her problem. On the other hand, Xander is kind of talking about Willow a lot while talking to Cordelia. So maybe he has a thing for Willow that I said this might happen, which is like Willow's gonna get together with someone else, and then that's when Xander's gonna finally... Well, I said she might die too. So she's gonna get together with someone or die, and that's when Xander's gonna finally realize how fucking good Willow was. So I feel like maybe that's happening right here, where he's having a moment where he's like, fuck, I really like Willow, and now fuck. Like, maybe he can't get Willow now. So now he's finally having a moment where like, shit, I fucked up. Not saying that's what he's thinking, but more like that's what he's feeling. because that's the thing about feelings, is that you don't actually realize what you're feeling, like until you put like a lot of like conscious thought into it, and then maybe you'll figure it out. But maybe he's feeling that way. So maybe Cordelia is onto something when she says that. Maybe she's not. Maybe Sander is just worrying about his friend. His friends, actually, because he talks about Willow and he talks about Buffy. Maybe Sander is just worried about his friends, you know? Because there's reasons to be. Like, there's reasons to be worried about Buffy and what's going on with Buffy and Angel. Also, he cares about Willow a lot. Like, I remember, like, my favorite Sander moment to this day is probably in, like, the first episode of season 2, when she was bad. When, like, Buffy's acting all edgy and shit, and it's like, whatever, I'm just gonna do whatever the fuck I want. And then she goes and does something reckless, and that's when the library gets attacked by vampires and they get, like, captured. When she came back, Sander was the only person there, and she was like, what happened? And Sander was, like, very antagonistic towards Buffy, and he calling out on her shit, and he said, I don't remember exactly the words, but he basically said, if they do something to Willow, I'll kill you myself. He just looked at Buffy dead in the eyes and told her that. And that was probably my favorite Sander moment in the entire show so far. And maybe until it ends. Because that was such a raw fucking cool moment. And that was the moment that he, like, finally gained my respect, right? It took like a full season plus in order for him to gain my respect. But it finally happened there. But that made me think, more than anything, that Sander really deeply cares about his friends, and more than nothing about Willow. So I'm thinking maybe he has a thing for Willow, maybe he doesn't, but ultimately he really cares about her. So maybe that's all it is. Maybe he's just worried about her and what Oz could be for Willow. I hope that that's the case. I hope that he just really cares about her platonically, and the issues with the relationship is just Cordelia's own issues more than Sander actually just going all over the place. Because also there was a scene in this episode where Sander and Buffy, where after they killed the vampire, like, they hugged, and I'm like, okay, it could be a wholesome platonic hug because Buffy needs a hug, and that's okay. But then they got, like, real close to each other, and I was like, please don't do this, please don't do anything weird. And then she walked away, and I was like, thank God. This doesn't need to be more complicated than it already is. And Sander said something like, yeah, my life is not complicated at all. And it's almost like he hurt me. So, but yes, like, that's where I'm hoping this might go. Like, again, I said this before. Relationship drama is not my forte. I will address it, but it's not my thing. But relationship drama is still a conduit that you use in order to tell stories, right? And emotions and characters. So it is important in that aspect. It just doesn't really do much for me outside of that aspect, but we'll see how this goes. This episode nodded to a lot of previous episodes. So right away, the episode started with a nod to the witch episode. I really wish for the witch to come back. I want the witch to come back, but also I forgot her fucking name. What was, like, Samantha or something like that? Like, the girl that was the witch's daughter. I wanted her to come back. Like, where the fuck did she go? She was just hired for that one episode, and then we just forget that she existed. But, like, the reality is that if we have someone that knows about the gang, it would be cool if they were part of the gang, you know? Like, they knows about witches and supernatural shit. Like, why are not they members of the gang? Like, they should be. Like us here. Like, that's what I like about Oz and Cordelia, is the fact that they eventually found out about weird shit, and then now they're just members of the group, and that's something I really like. And I kind of want that to happen a lot more. And given, if it happened every time that I wanted to see it, we would have a cast of 20 characters. I don't see a problem with that. I don't. I think Diamond is Engravable was fucking great. I think it's my favorite JoJo part. So I think we should do the same with Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I just want to follow, like, a random, like, chef in the city who is also a wizard. And that's just it. And, like, we encounter him. We run into him. And it's like, we think that he's bad or whatever. And he's like, no, actually, I'm just the resident chef wizard. And they go like, oh, cool. And then we just don't do anything with that. And then, like, 10 episodes later, we see him again. And he's just chilling, and that's just kind of it. right? Like, I want to see characters that are in the know about supernatural stuff and that they also are recurring, right? That's just what I want to see. Because I get tired of the secret. I get tired of just four people, the same four people every time, just being like, okay, now we deal with this monster, so now we deal with this monster. I just want a lot of people to know about the monsters and to like talk about it and to show up in episodes, just to keep the dynamic interesting. That's what I want. Man, I got really sidetracked into whatever the fuck I was saying. They also referenced the hyena episode. We tried to forget that episode happened, but that's the episode where Principal Flutie died. Best character in the show. He died like 6 episodes in. I can't believe it. But like at the end of the episode, they had this thing where like Sandra said he didn't remember anything, and then he turns out that he did. But in this episode, he referenced directly to it, and Buffy said, "I thought you didn't remember anything." And then he was like, don't worry about that. Anyway, moving on. And it's like, yes, that's what we need to do. Just not think about it. Just move on with our lives, okay? That's what we're going for here. I do want to say how it was really cool that, like, halfway through the episode, the entire shift of the episode, I want to say that it's cool how, like, halfway through the episode, I mean, yes, they do reveal that it was Oz, and that was surprising, but immediately after that, the episode started following Oz, you know? And that's good. That's good. That's good to know. Because it means that this was the first night that Oz turned into a werewolf. And then he was like, oh shit, what do I do? And we see him go through that. I can see some people maybe blaming Oz about like not telling anyone about what was going on. But like, I don't blame him for it. I think it would have been like, okay, no, things ended up good in this instance, so I don't know what the alternate timeline would have been if he told people, but you know what, that's fine. Like the thing, but that's fine, because like the thing is that I don't blame him for acting that way, for not telling people, because he's going through a lot, man. Like he's not selfless enough to kill himself. He's not selfless enough to completely destroy his relationship with Willow and the other members of the gang, so he didn't want to tell anyone because he felt like that would ruin things. Instead, he decided maybe, okay, I'll chain myself, I'll try to restrain myself so nothing would happen. Like, he cares enough in order to try and stop that from happening, but he wasn't selfless enough to like sacrifice himself right away and be like, okay, like, it's me, the werewolf, fucking shoot me or something, you know? And he was just scared. He was just scared of what people would say to him, you know? Like, if he told Willow, I'm a werewolf, and then Willow was like, oh, fuck you, then that would be a heartbreak, and he didn't want to go through that, you know? And again, this is all happening within a single day. So I don't blame him for not telling anyone about it, because, again, at the end of the episode, he's like, I just turned into a werewolf, like, give me like a couple days for me to like actually process it, and then I can like maybe be a little bit rational about it. But like, he didn't have that time, you know? So I don't blame him for anything this episode. Like, that's fine. And like, because like when he walked into the library, like the first thing he heard was Buffy saying, I should fucking kill that werewolf. So he was like, oh boy, oh god, how do we play this? Man, this episode was like wild. Pun intended. It had like so many things going on, and it didn't end up as grim as I thought it might, but that's good, because now we have a resident werewolf in the gang. He's a party member now, and he's just there, and that's good, you know? That's good. They just made Oz a more interesting character, and I already liked him, so that's the good thing. I like that. I suppose the only other thing I want to say is like Larry. Like, dude, like, I already talked about Larry, but, like, I don't know how to feel about fucking Larry. Like, I don't. Like, progressive, I guess? I don't know. I hope it is. I just hope Larry comes back and he's also, like, a cool guy, you know? He's not an asshole. He's not, like, a bad stereotype. I hope he's just a cool guy. He's nice, and he has actually a real character. That would be nice. So, yeah, I want to see Larry again. That's the next cast member. Larry's gonna run into a ghost, and then Larry's gonna be like, oh, supernatural shit, and then he's gonna be part of the gang, and he's gonna like hit on Sander the entire time, and then eventually Sander's gonna turn gay, and then Larry's gonna die in his arms, and Sander's gonna be like, fuck no, Larry. Fuck, he was my best bud. I don't know, man. I'm just doing some shit here. I don't know what the fuck I'm thinking about. I'm just gonna get the fuck out of here. It's late. I'm just gonna go. I don't know what else to say. This was just a fun episode. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in to this episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. See you guys next week. But if you don't want to wait until next week, you can watch the next 2 episode reactions already over at the Patreon. Check out the link in the description below. You can catch me on Twitch, see my social media, all sorts of stuff that I do. Just supporting me. That's great and all. And I'm just gonna get out. I don't know what I'm saying. Bye bye, everyone. Take care. Bye.